Morning everyone, welcome back to Adelshoven. Looks like a beautiful June day here. Underway with a few chores. I've just filled up our wagon. We'll sell a couple of loads of silage, and to do that we'll just use our helper from the bakery to run the loop for us. So I've just filled the trailer, but I've set it up to fill with silage from the main silo, go to the silage sell point, and come back and do it all again. We'll ask them to do it twice. I think there's 2 loads in there. We'll check in a minute, and you can get on with that. But let's check that silage. So I put a load of grass in after the last episode, which is processing, and yeah, with any luck it'll get 2 more loads out of there, so he can run away. Now, one of the things that occurred to me, you might have noticed we tested it out a couple of times, but both of the fuel stations on this map don't appear to sell fuel. So I've had a chat with the folks at the animal dealers that we're doing lots of business with, and they're happy for us to put a fuel supply point over here. We'll pay for the supply point, and then it'll be kind of a user pays deal on the fuel, and they'll let us use the land. So I'm thinking something with a bit of shelter, because it'll sit on the corner here. I'm thinking potentially this might do the trick. Just tuck it in here under the tree. It's not really an expense that we wanted, but I think it's something we need. The tractor is just about empty. So, well, not just about empty, but it's getting down a bit. So if we put some in here, how do we do that? Where is the fill point? It's at this end. Interesting. There we go. I don't think we'll put 25,000 litres in. Let's go with 2,000. We'll be fine, I think. So our tractor's just selling off the silage. We've got oh, that's unexpected. Okay. I forgot about that. So let's just... because we've got a silage delivery contract, trying to sell silage at the animal store means that that trailer load we just delivered was credited against the contract on field 33, which we've only just mowed. So, and in fact, almost a quarter of what was required for delivery for field 34. So it'll come back in the swings and roundabouts. We'll end up with all the silage off that field, but it means we need to wait to deliver until after we've completed those contracts. So that's a bit of a nuisance. I was hoping to get the cash in. I've moved the sunflower seeds into our production over there. There's no more to do with that. Let's just have a quick check of the shop. We don't need a header at this stage. This forage pickup, though, could... We don't... It's going to be an interesting dilemma, I think, because this would be really handy for us at $28,000 at half price. It will go on our tractor and will enable us to get rid of this for the moment and just have the one trailer, which has a number of benefits, not least of which eliminating the cost of that unit. I am thinking that that's probably a very good idea, but we need the cash. To get the cash, we need to finish these contracts. So let's go back up to the grass field. You can see I brought the equipment down from the little tiny strip field we did the other day, and I've run the tedder over here, so the hay's all ready to go. We actually produced one bale and a little bit off that field up the top there, so I'm pretty confident one bale will finish that contract on field 40. What I'm thinking here we'll do is we'll use a mod called Follow Me to help the worker navigate this field a little bit better and enable us to get this baling done pretty quick. So if I get in the tractor that I want to use, I make sure my bale is ready to go. So I put down the pickup and turn the baler on, which will require me not to do that. So turn the baler on, which requires us to start the engine. And then I hold down the right control key and press F if I'm on a PC. And you'll see now that I've got a worker in, and I've got this little arrow at the bottom of the screen and a 25, which is telling me that I've just instructed the worker to follow that tractor in front on exactly the same line and stay 25 meters back. So if I now get out and get into this tractor, that worker's still sitting there waiting for me to do something. So if I open my tedder and now put my tedder down and on and set about tedding this field, the worker in the other tractor is going to follow me around with the baler, and as long as I don't go too quickly and get too far in front of him, he will actually bail up this windrow that I'm making. You can see him coming around the corner there. Now the worker is smart enough to stop to release the bales. So he'll dump the bales out, and we can just concentrate on driving the field. Now the only thing we've got to keep an eye on here is that we travel only in a forward direction. That Follow Me works pretty well almost all the time, certainly in a two vehicle setup, but it doesn't handle backwards at all. So you need to keep going forwards, and that just means in working your field you need to have a plan to cover the field moving forward. So in this particular case I'm going to do 2 headlands because that then gives us plenty of turning space. You see he's still going at the bottom there. Mainly because the turning is just the trickiest part. The baler in this instance actually can turn fairly tightly. And you can see as he's done the corner there, it's missed a couple of little bits. But I want to make sure that I have the maximum chance of smoothing this out. So when the corner arcs that I'm cutting, the baler is missing when the tractor it's following follows the path that I've set. So there'll be a couple of little cleanup bits to do at the end, but by and large, as long as I don't go too quickly, he will keep up, and as you can see, we're powering through this job. So I might just wait here for a minute. We can watch while it comes round the corner. You can see just following that arc on the corners is just causing a little bit of an issue, but that's all right. We'll deal with that on cleanup. What it means is we'll go up here like so, and as we loop round the corner, sorry for the trees, we'll just pick up a little bit of that. My experience is if I get more than about 250 meters in front of the vehicle that I want following, it forgets the course. So this field, I just got to keep track of how many loops I'm having him do. But as long as I don't get more than a lap or so in front, it should come along quite nicely. Now, if we'd had another tractor, I'd wanted to use my tractor that's down there in the yard. We could have, of course, put 3 and had Tedder leading the windrower. But I thought for the size of the field, 2 was probably sufficient. As you can see, we're making really good time getting this field done. There's lots of very useful things. This is not the only thing, of course. The key with, like so many mods, is use the existence of the capability to stimulate your imagination. So in the case of Follow Me, you know, start thinking about all the different ways that you can use it. If you want some other ideas, I've done a tips and tricks tutorial on how to use it with 4 or 5 different examples. The most common of which is what we used the other day to get from the shop to here, which is just a little convoy. Okay, so we'll finish windrowing this up, and then we might jump in the baler and just get the little bits and pieces off this field. So H to dismiss the worker, and I'm back running the show. I can just now adjust my course to pick up these little bits that we've left. With any luck, we'll get one more bale. A bit steep up here. We're spinning those wheels a fraction. There we go, in there, 900 litres. This will certainly be the last bale, I think. Yes, I'm not seeing another half a bale. Certainly not worth chasing around for. Let's run up and grab those bale forks and take 4 bales across to the animal dealer and see where it gets us on these 2 baling contracts. Don't find these transport mechanisms the easiest to use, and also the challenge is often like we've done in this case, we've gone for a biggest bale size we could. Let's select the front unit and unfold it and put it down. Let's see how we go. I didn't judge that very well. Let's try this one. Different camera angle. Winning that. If we have something to push it against, we'll have some success. No, we'll just push them. Well, sort of. There's one. And he's gone. Not surprising, going down the hill. Let's widen those tines a little bit. I forgot you could do that. So on my keyboard it's Shift and K. Makes it a little bit wider. That's much better. I don't know why it moves on the hill before you get there. Let's see if we can stop you. Very fiddly, very fiddly. There we go. Right. Took a minute, but that's 3. I would like to take one more. There's one over there. We can lift those up. Let's see if we can back on to one of these guys. So X, if we're lucky. We'll hold that other one in. Let's see. We need to remember that there's a bale hiding down here in the tree line. Well, this looks like a good spot to sell some bales, so we'll unload here. I hope. There we go. Minus 9,000%. I'd say there's an error with the contract on field 40 that's going to cause us a bit of a problem. So that might require surgery, because I'm pretty sure we're not minus 9,000% delivered. But we're making good progress on field 32, thankfully. I just managed to pull this bale out of the sell point. So that would suggest that another bale will be enough to finish that contract on field 32. So we'll go and we'll bring 4 more over. We'll drop 2 into the animal dealer and then potentially put the other 2 in our sheep pen. So we just need to deliver these couple of bales. There's only 1 left on the field, I think, so hopefully there's the contract done. In fact, we only needed 1 of those. We'll leave him there. We'll take these 2 over to feed our sheep because they'll be very useful. So we can just drop those by the feed trough there. Any luck, we'll be able to spin around and drop them off. Out of there without demolishing our garden as well. You over by the fence. There, I'll get off there. Okay. So now we need to get down to the other fields where we're going to make silage bales. I decided to stop off at the shop. We can use follow me to help us in the same way as before. So we've got our engine running and we need the baler for this contract. So we're going to follow the fence 25 meters behind, and this time it's not doing any work, and with any luck he's going to pull out of there and follow us round to the field. So there's field 33 over in front of us. It's only a little tiny field also. Especially with this windrower, it'll only be a couple of trips up and down the field. So we'll unfold the windrower, and while that's doing that, we'll go and get the baler all set up. So, well, I don't think I can vary the bale size here. Anyway, I want to get rid of the worker, unfold the baler, turn on automatic drop, and lower the pickup, turn you on, and then turn the follow back on. Turn on the windrower, and it says, if I lower the windrower, it's as easy as that. And we can zoom around this field. Certainly not another bale's worth left on the field here. So we can head now over to the other field, and I'll come back and get the baler because it should just about have finished by the time we're parked here. Now, because this is only producing small bales, you might well be asking, why did I pick this baler up and not bring the other one? It's as simple as the other baler. I'm not aware of a way to unload it. There may be one, and it's 3/4 full of hay, and so rather than mess with it, I just grabbed this one from the shop because it was sitting there. So I don't think we're really making enough bales that the discrepancy makes a huge difference. And so we'll put our pickup down, turn on the baler, Control F for the follow. He's all ready to go. Turn on our him down and around the edge. And I find doing the fields this way, particularly with these balers that require you to stop, is quite a big help, because driving a baler and stopping all the time I find particularly annoying. Goodness me, concentrate on what you're doing still. Now I can just run back to the shop and get the bale wrapper. I need to wait for the baler to finish, because otherwise it will get confused and stop anyway. We can take you off the field. Yeah, there we go. Follower stopped. So I got too far ahead and it couldn't follow the course anymore. Grabbed the bale loader while I was at the store picking up the bale wrapper. If you're not aware, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes here, you can use Courseplay to wrap bales. So if I hit the delete key here, and I bring up my little course play menu, it naturally defaults to collecting and wrapping. But if I go into my AI worker menu, I'm down here on field 33. I'm going to create a job. Course play, bale, collect and wrap. The field position is this one. If I set my target, I find it most reliable in the middle. It's not a perfect process, but what you'll find is course play will search the field for suitable bales. It will unwrap the bale wrapper and wrap them up. Now the only thing we have to worry about here is that it doesn't wander off the end of the field and end up in the water. So what I'm going to do is go over there and try and stave that off by collecting the bales. But I figure if we've at least, because we're deemed to have completed field 33, as long as we've at least collected the bales. And there we go. What happened? Exactly as I predicted. It ran off the edge of the field. It's the only downside. Otherwise, I find it works really well, but for some reason, its course resolution takes it outside the field boundary. And with this type of bale wrapper, it's very easy to fall into something or get caught on a tree. But that's how it's supposed to work. But it's probably quicker just to do it ourselves at this point. I'm thinking at this point it's been quite a long day and we've made reasonable progress. We have near enough to finished all of these contracts, and I'll have to sort out off camera, I think, the bug that appears to be field 40. It may mean we don't get any credit for that one, but given that it was only 1.5 bales, I guess I'm not too concerned, and we can finish off the baling for field 34 next time. This means we won't have collected quite as much cash as we hoped for, but given the time of year, maybe there'll be some harvest contracts. So until next time, thanks for watching. See ya.